Alright, so as I'm sitting inside trying to edit this video, I notice a lot of my files, well, they did not turn out the way I wanted to. A lot of them seem to be pretty grainy. Now, most of the videos in this episode I actually use my GoPro because it has a wider angle lens than this camera does here. And that really kind of helped whenever I was trying to shoot things down in that floor plan area, the steering shafts and everything. But it did not seem like I had the correct settings going on it. Now I think I may have them correct now. I am shooting this on the old camera though because I right now I'm done with it. So this episode may be a little short, cutting out some of those videos. I'll try to leave some of them in, but you will notice that the quality is just not there on the video. Hopefully it is still watchable, and I hope y'all still enjoy the episode. Let's get to it. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and if this is your first video, go ahead and check out some of the other videos. We're doing this build on this Humvee basically throughout the whole thing till we get this thing running and driving. Now it has been a couple weekends since I've been able to work on this, so I really don't remember where I've left off on these videos or anything. I have gotten a few things done during the week. Let me show y'all what we've got done and what I plan to get done this weekend. So I'm sure one of the first things you'll notice is we got the back curtain on here now. Now it really didn't take that much time to do this. The biggest part was actually putting the window in the back there. It's pretty simple actually. You just slide 1/2 in from the back. Then you slide this little frame over the inside portion and then just use screws to go around, and those were all provided in the kit. Went ahead and bolted all the latches back in place and tightened everything down. We got a couple of other things painted. Our fuel fill neck housing. We got a couple of the lights in place as well. But not a whole lot because I haven't been able to work on this for a couple weekends now. So now we're hopping back into it. Now I'd like to actually get the brake and power steering kind of unit in here, everything connected. But first thing we need to do is connect our steering column. I mean, I guess you could really connect it later, but if I do it now, it is definitely a lot more room around here that I can navigate to get everything connected right. And then we'll work on all the other stuff. Now I went ahead and mounted the column in place and everything. So really the issue that I'm having now is because we raised the body 3 inches, the steering shaft that comes right off our steering column here is supposed to go through this oval shaped hole there. And if I put it straight through that hole there where it used to go, we're set about 2 to 3 inches high. Now I juggled around the idea of adding in like a double U joint into the unit and stuff, but I think my best option is actually going to be to go ahead and move this hole, shift it down just enough that we can get the steering column in. Now of course it's going to add another hole to our firewall, but I do have some aluminum plate coming in. It should be in today, and that'll allow us to kind of sandwich the firewall there and create a new kind of panel on that spot. Oh yeah, this is just another one of those little things that I do during the week that y'all don't really get to see, mainly because you probably don't want to see it, but cleaning up all little pieces like this. This is the boot that actually came out of here, and it used to have tan paint and everything around it, but we got it all cleaned up. It just takes some time, some scrubbing, and some degreaser, and it is now in shape that we can use it again, and it'll actually look good in there. Oh yeah, another little thing that I want to get done hopefully this morning before it gets too hot outside is go ahead and paint the tops of our seat panels here with the black Raptor liner. That way it matches the interior and everything. Now whenever we do mount the seats to these, I do plan on sandwiching this piece with either some steel or some thicker aluminum. That way it gives some reinforcement to this plate. right, there we go. We got these pieces sprayed. This is 3 coats. One's just a cover coat, and then 2 kind of dust coats. One's a heavier dust coat and another one a lighter. So we went ahead and also used some of the leftovers that was in the bottle to go ahead and clean up the bleed through of the green onto the black that we had over there. So now we have a nice clean line. But it is about 100 degrees outside and even hotter in this shop, and my phone and my camera are telling me they need to cool down a little bit. So I'm gonna run inside, get me a drink, cool down, let my camera and phone cool down a little bit as well. And I'm coming right back out here to start working on some of that other stuff. Maybe cut that section of that firewall out of there. I use a little air powered jigsaw here. Went ahead and cut that hole down just a little bit. Went ahead and kind of curved it up so it, well, doesn't look out of place. I have this aluminum. This is 1/8 inch aluminum sheet. I've ordered this before on a few pieces and actually drew out, just kind of barely scratched out where I need to cut on this. So I may use the jigsaw to cut this out also, or I may just take it over to the vise and use a little cutoff wheel. I don't know. So there we have our patch panel. So that'll go up right in there. Anyway, it'll hold it in place right there. So next thing I need to do though is have somebody help hold this up, and then on the other side I got to mark the little holes for our bolts. Alright, so I got the little patch panel in place there. I cut out the hole big enough that the shaft fits through it. I've already test fitted in there. I went ahead and put the boot on and already drilled the holes in the aluminum piece there for the boot. Now I'm mounting it back up here, and I'll go ahead and drill out the holes that I need to mount the boot on, because we do still need a nut on the back side of those. So on this end of the steering here, it is actually kind of keyed, so you do kind of have to line it up just right with this part. Once it's keyed in, you're good to go. Slide on there. So now that I got the other end in, I had this end in just temporarily. What I'm wanting to do now is go ahead and take this end off. That way I can rotate the steering column to where I want it, and then I'll slide that back on, and that way our steering wheel actually lines up with the direction that you're driving. So another thing I need to figure out how it's going to fit together, or where it's going to go, is of course the throttle pedal. Now I thought about just mounting it up same hole as the brake master cylinder thing there, but that also puts, so this is my brake all the way down, the spring's off of it right now. It usually sits up a little bit further than that, and in order to get this to be where I want it to be, I'm going to actually have to offset it from the back about 1 inch or 1.5 inches in order to get it to sit where this brake is actually going to sit. Alrighty, so I went ahead and created this little thing. I just bent it up real quick. This is out of some 1/8 inch aluminum that I have laying around from a previous project. It still has the paper backing on it here. So it's basically going to fit up right in there. That angle on the bottom is just right, and then that will line up with the hole at the top there. And then I already created the little cutouts and drilled the holes for the throttle pedal to actually fit on there. So on the bottom of your throttle pedal here, you have 2 bolts that go through, but then you also have these little tags that come off, and that helps line it up on, well, I would assume the original mount. So now we have it to where this fits up nice, sits down nice on there. On the back side, you can see those little tabs coming through, which lines up everything. Now I'll probably go ahead and actually trim this piece up a little bit, that it's so it actually looks nice in there whenever I bolt it in place. But that was a simple little mount. I thought it was going to take a lot longer than it did. Alright, I also pulled out the brake master cylinder, or whatever you want to call this little hydro assist brake assembly. Anyway, we got it pulled out here. I got it all cleaned up with some brake clean, and then also sprayed it down with some of this rust fix stuff. We have to let that sit for a day or 2 because that stuff takes a little time to fully do its thing, and basically if you spray over the top of it whenever it's still kind of wet, it messes up your paint pretty bad. So I'm gonna let that sit, fully cure up, then we'll come back during the week sometime and hit it with some paint, make it look good, and then we'll install it. And at that time as well, one of our little pins here is actually going to hold up our throttle pedal, so we'll install that throttle pedal mount also at the same time we do this. Well, that's going to do it for us this weekend. I have to run inside, clean up a little bit. I need to cook a little bit of stuff for a little get together this evening. I already got her covered up here, so we minimize some of the dust on her. Now, it never seems like I get as much done on this on the weekends as I'd like to. I'm going to continue working during the week, getting some of the small stuff done. I'll bring that to the weekends so I can film it for y'all. I hope y'all still enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see y'all next time.